Hello, y'all. One moment. Hello, everybody. Let me turn off the thing. Hold on. Okay, I had to turn on my do not disturb sign. Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? I hope you're doing very well. Yes, I do. We got a lot to talk about. And, we're talking about Donald Trump. He just visited Israel lately. He's back now in D.C. and he didn't have a great welcoming back from D.C. But we got a lot to talk about pertaining to Donald Trump, Israel, a lot to talk about Israel. And it's been 21 days later. They have not sworn in the Democrat that won the special election. And she can be the number 218 to get the Epstein files released. But they will not allow her to swear in. Yes, Mike Johnson, who walked the mic right, grinder. He refuses to swear her in. She's going to speak. We're going to listen to that because it's 21 days later. Hello, King Allen, y'all. It's a lot going on. Say hello to my moderator, King Allen. We're going to discuss Israel, Newton Yahoo again. His real name is Benjamin. MAGA, I have something that's very important for them to listen to. Donald Trump brags about Israel, but he don't even brag about us Americans while he over in that country. We're going to listen to Barack Obama, more about the AIPAC, Israel situation. Donald Trump, when he goes to shake hands, he wants to intimidate the other presidents and the prime ministers is over there in Israel. So I'm going to take a sip of water. We're going to go ahead and get started. But let me say this. As you come in, please hit that like button. It is a free way to support me. Please hit the like button. Even on replay, please hit that like button. Also, if you'd like to donate to my channel, you can send me super chats and super stickers. Yes, super chats and super stickers. In my description is my Venmo. You can send me something through Venmo. If you have Venmo, and my PayPal link is in the description as well. So if you have PayPal, you can send me something through PayPal too. Just hit that link and send me a love, blessing, donation. Okay, I have two different types of memberships. I have the Rubies membership for $4.99. And I have the Diamonds membership for $9.99. Members get things that the subscribers or other viewers will not get to see. You get things firsthand a lot of the times. And you get videos that I put out. I have lives that I put out that the other viewers do not get to see. You get stuff firsthand. So we're going to go ahead and get started. But first, I'm going to take a sip of water. Again, come on in. I am Queen Lillie. Welcome to my live. We are talking about who? Donald Trump. When I tell y'all I love water, yes, I love water. So we're going to take a listen to this right here. And it is pertaining to Israel. One moment, please.
Still supporting Israel in the year 2025. There's something seriously wrong with you as a person. You do not have a normal, healthy sense of empathy and morality. It's 2025. Israeli soldiers are telling the Israeli press that they're being ordered to massacre starving children trying to obtain food from
Hello,
aid
Queen Nesto
Shackles
Shuffle Walker Shane.
Are leaving
Hi.
evangelical churches.
Hi,
they
Bruce.
Are sick and tired
Hi,
of their evangelical
pastors
and churches supporting genocide against the Palestinian people. Jesus said, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God." Romans 14:19. Follow after the things which make for peace. 1 Corinthians 7:15. God hath called us to peace. God has called us to peace.
Hi, King Bruce.
1 Corinthians 14:33. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. God is the author of peace. 2 Corinthians 13:11. Live in peace. Colossians 3:15. Let the peace of God rule in your hearts. Hebrews 12:14. Follow peace with all men. How many of you have seen the videos of the atrocities in Gaza and the West Bank that our taxpayer dollars are financing?
I
Our
told
government
y'all.
representatives in Congress are facilitating, and our president is waging in the Middle East. You don't have to raise your hand. But have you seen the live feed videos coming out of those locations? The bodies of the little babies blown apart, the families in their entirety, entire families of maybe 15 or 20 wiped out. Reports of the medical doctors. Have you seen the video coming out of the hospitals? The Western media has done their best to hide from the American people the atrocities of the Gaza genocide.
I've been telling y'all.
But the videos are there online via the internet for all to see. Jesus said the peacemakers are blessed. If you're still supporting Israel in the year 2025, there's something seriously wrong with you as a person.
Donald Trump supports Israel. If the Americans speak against Israel, they want to punish us. As we speak against Charlie Kirk, they want to punish us. But as I showed y'all yesterday, videos where Charlie Kirk no longer wanted to take funding from Israel because they was paying him to put out propaganda. What did they do? Charlie Kirk is not here today, but Donald Trump was over there in Israel with Netanyahu. Benjamin is his real name. He is from Poland. He is not a person that is Hebrew. Now we're gonna listen to our girl. No, we're gonna go back to that later. We're gonna take more of a listen to Donald Trump and Netanyahu while in Israel. And Netanyahu accidentally admits the plan of the 20-point peace deal. Hold on, baby. I got you. I love you.
Hamas rejects your plan, Mr. President, or if they supposedly accept it and then basically do everything to counter it, then Israel will finish the job.
Hi, King Edward.
By itself.
You can't make this up. Netanyahu accidentally exposes the plan of this 20-point peace deal. No Palestinian is going to accept a deal where Tony Blair and Donald Trump take control of Gaza, and it's an embarrassment that the Arab countries would even voice any support for this. Also, Trump removed potential annexation of the West Bank, which proves to you that this is an Israeli proposal. Trump and Netanyahu are desperate because Israel is losing a lot of reputation in the world, with most countries already recognizing Palestine as a state, something Trump is desperately trying to reverse. This deal is not going to be accepted. Why? Netanyahu told us.
Hamas rejects your plan, Mr. President, or if they supposedly accept it and then basically do everything to counter it.
Hamas rejected Donald Trump's plan. Y'all know Donnie can't put a plan together. Who probably put the plan together? Peter Thiel, etc. Maybe even Mike Johnson. Donald Trump doesn't know how to put a plan together. That's why he ended up filing bankruptcy 6 times. Israel, we got our eye on you, baby. Netanyahu, we see you. We see you, buddy. Whew. And this is for MAGA, y'all. I specifically saved this video so MAGA can hear this.
The difference is I kept my promise and officially recognized the capital of Israel and moved the American embassy to Jerusalem. Isn't that right, Miriam? Look at Miriam. She's back there. Stand up, Miriam. Stand up.
Hit the like button, please. Thank you.
Miriam and Sheldon would come into the office. They'd call me. He'd call me. I think they had more trips to the White House than anybody else I can think of. Look at her sitting there so innocently. She got 60 billion in the bank, 60 billion. And she loves, I think she's
All
saying
for
no
taxpayers in America.
And she loves Israel, but she loves it, and they would come in, and Her husband was a very aggressive man, but I loved him. He was a very aggressive, very supportive of me. And he'd call up. The difference is I kept my promise and officially recognized the capital of Israel and moved the American embassy to Jerusalem.
Move the American embassy to Jerusalem. They're giving billions of dollars to Israel. What are the American people getting? We're not getting anything for free. We're paying for Israel, the American taxpayers. MAGA, you got to start listening so you don't be left behind. One moment, please.
Ask you something. Why doesn't AIPAC fund Israel themselves? They have billionaire donors, endless resources, and enough influence to make or break politicians. If Israel needs military aid, why doesn't AIPAC just write the checks? Because that's not how real power works. The ultimate flex isn't paying for something yourself.
She's so beautiful.
It's making someone else foot the bill. And AIPAC figured out how to make you, the American taxpayer, fund Israel's war machine, all while they sit back and pull the strings. AIPAC wasn't always Washington's puppet master. It began in the 1950s when Israel was still struggling to lock in U.S. support. In 1953, Israeli forces massacred over 60 Palestinians,
Hi, Queen Angela.
sparking international outrage. And for a brief moment, the U.S. leaders actually considered pulling back support. That's when Israel's political strategists just knew they had to lock in U.S. support, like, immediately. They built AIPAC not to fund Israel directly, but to make sure that the U.S. government never stopped funding them. And here's how they pulled it off. They bought Congress. By the 1980s, AIPAC had mastered the art of campaign financing, funneling millions to pro-Israel politicians, and blacklisting anyone who stepped out of line. And this whole deal was bipartisan. They controlled both parties. Democrat or Republican, it doesn't matter. AIPAC made sure that no matter who wins, Israel's always going to come first. So they rewrote the rules. Instead of spending their own money, AIPAC lobbied for Congress to commit U.S. taxpayer dollars on autopilot. And now the U.S. funds Israel like it's some sort of subscription service. Nearly $4 billion in military aid flows to Israel every year, while Americans are told that we can't afford healthcare or housing. Every president, every Congress, every major politician knows that supporting Israel is non-negotiable. And if a candidate even suggests cutting U.S. aid, AIPAC is going to flood their opponent's campaign with cash until they disappear. With all that being said, I think it's safe to say that AIPAC doesn't just influence Washington, it owns it. And that's why every UN resolution against Israel is blocked. That's why politicians never hold Israel accountable. And that's why Americans pay for Israel's military, all while being told to work harder if we can't afford rent. Because AIPAC's real power is in making sure that Israel never has to ask for funding. It's already guaranteed. So no, the US doesn't just listen to AIPAC. It's controlled by AIPAC. They decide who gets elected. They decide where your tax dollars go. They decide which politicians are allowed to stay. And Washington just bows down. Because in American politics, money isn't just power, it's law. And AIPAC, they wrote the law to make sure that you keep paying for Israel's war machine, whether you like it or not. Let me ask you something. Why does
Well,
AIPAC
us
just
taxpayers, we don't like it. Why they pulling the funding for your health care, the people in Israel get free health care out for our tax dollars? No, we don't like it. Donald Trump, we don't like it. You said make America great, but you really meant make America white. Not again, because y'all was not the first ones here. Europeans come from Europe. The first people to ever walk God's green earth were Africans. Then the Native Americans came along, because black was here before brown or white. Netanyahu is not a Hebrew. He's a fake. Donald Trump knows that. Donald Trump's a fake. Fake and cons get along very well. Watch out now, MAGA. You're going to get left behind. Just a moment, please.
News, an insider has confirmed that Benjamin Netanyahu intentionally sabotaged Joe Biden's peace plan in 2024 to help Donald Trump's presidential campaign. Joe Biden offered the exact same deal to Benjamin Netanyahu a year ago, and he declined it. But let's take a look at what somebody who was actually in the room has to say about Netanyahu sabotaging this deal. He said that Israel had no intention of striking any agreement before a change of administration in Washington. On December 26, 2024, he was told to not use his back channels because in 3 weeks there will be a deal. In an essay he wrote revealing his involvement, he said this deal could have been done a long time ago. Hamas agreed to all the same terms in September of 2024. This became known as a 3 weeks deal. But at that point, the response of the Israeli negotiators was that Benjamin Netanyahu did not agree to end the war. Remember, in 2024, it was reported that Trump was on the phone with Netanyahu urging him not to cut a deal right now because it would have helped the Harris campaign. This has to be, without a doubt, one of the most disgraceful revelations in all of modern political history. Donald Trump wants to be known as the president of peace. However, he was deliberately sabotaging peace deals so he could take credit for all of it. Thousands of Palestinians and Israelis passed away in the months that followed directly because of Trump's actions. Breaking news, an insider has confirmed
He did. He had a meeting with Netanyahu, Benjamin Netanyahu, what you want to call that old nincompoop, old man, crusty butt, wrinkled body. Donald Trump had a meeting with him to not sign the deal with President Joe Biden, to wait for him to get in office because he knew he was going to be picked because it was, like he said, it was rigged for him. And Donnie got in there. And what is happening? Israel is surviving, having a greater life than us Americans right now. Free everything. Have a child, you get money. Free health care. They could sit on their butt and collect while the American people must work harder. One moment, please. Just a moment. Just a touch of love and just a little bit.
About the woke right. He said, I call it the woke Reich.
It's almost unbelievable that he said that on camera. Imagine, this is a foreign leader bragging about how he's censoring Americans. Again, this guy runs a country of 9 million people that's totally dependent on our tax dollars to exist. And here he is on camera saying,
Tucker Carlson is telling the truth, y'all.
Aid to Israel or opposes getting sucked into war with Iran, which does not serve American interests. That person is not simply mistaken or wrong. I'm not going to bother to explain why that person is wrong. That person is a Nazi, part of the woke Reich, a Nazi. And the only way to fix it is by preventing Americans in the last country on earth with guaranteed freedom of speech, prevent Americans from hearing the other side. And so we push Congress.
And that's how we end up with MAGA.
TikTok, number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential.
And we need to talk to Elon.
You know, so we have to talk to Elon.
Free speech is central.
See, Elon is tied in all this
In
mess.
fact, it's really the only
He's an
thing that's
enemy
at
to this
sport
country,
for
if
the
you ask me.
And here's this guy, a foreign head of state, who, let me restate, is totally dependent on our tax dollars to exist, is saying Americans don't have that right, and he's going to do some kind of secret pressure campaign on Elon Musk to censor X because it bothers Israel?
Tucker Carlson, y'all. He's been right the whole time. Candace Owen is not the best person. I don't care for her, but she's right about some things, y'all. Why do you think Charlie Kirk's kicked up out of here? The text messages got released that what Charlie Kirk sent Candace Owens about Israel. He stopped taking the funding from Israel because they want him to continue putting out their propaganda. Charlie Kirk started talking too much. Oh, Donnie boy, Netanyahu don't like that. You know, those boys, honey, they don't like when you speak against Israel because Israel is all fake. It's man-made by the white man, taken for others, taken from the American taxpayers. Are you going to continue bowing down? We don't have to be like MAGA. There's no help for them, y'all. That spell can't be broken because Donald Trump has slapped them across that face with that little bitty mushroom, and then they put it in their mouths. They loved it, and they hooked on Donnie forever. One moment, please. More on Netanyahu secretly funded Hamas. Yeah, they put it in their mouth. Okay, now we're going to go to this next part. Hold on. One moment, please. Let me see. I want to find this that I showed y'all this yesterday. Hopefully I can find it. I may have removed it and not intentionally though. Hold on.
I just need to check and see if this was AI. This is not AI. This is real. He fucking said this. Watch this.
Christian influencers. Okay. You said, we talked about the woke right. And you said, I call it the woke Reich. That's a brilliant observation. The woke Reich. Because these people, you know, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane. They're crazy. But they're actually meeting on some of the things. And what we have to do is we have to secure that part of the base of our support in the United States. That is being challenged systematically. A lot of this is done with money. Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster. Okay? We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance. To that community. They're very important. And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle. You know, the weapons change over time. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is TikTok. TikTok, number one.
TikTok. That's why I'm not effing with TikTok no more.
It can be consequential.
Donald Trump involved with TikTok now as well.
X. Exactly. Very good. And, you know.
What did Netanyahu said? They're going to buy TikTok. They put the pressure on the guy that owned TikTok. Right now, Donald Trump, Netanyahu, and their crew is running TikTok. That's why when you talk about Donald Trump on TikTok, they're going to remove your video. Everybody keep telling me, you'll make more money on TikTok. Honey, I'm going to stay on YouTube where it's safe, baby. I'm safe over here on YouTube. Hey, Edgar Gonzalez, how you doing? Why would I go to TikTok and I can't discuss Donald Trump? I don't know why my hair is sticking out, y'all. Static in my hair today for some reason. Why would I do that? You just heard it from his mouth. They even mentioned X. So they pretty much, let's just say this and be on the safe side. In my opinion, Israel own America. Boom, there it is. Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson been speaking on it. One of his influencers, you heard him talking about influencers. One of them was Charlie Kirk. But Charlie Kirk started waking up. They did not like that he started waking up and understanding what was really happening. And that we, the American people, the taxpayers, have been supplying Israel with all their needs. Why our needs are not being met in America. We've been played with and abused in our own country where we pay taxes. One moment, please. Oh, I can't play the music. Okay, hold on. Just one moment. Listen to this. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm not sure if the youth photo in this video I'm going to show you is her, but let's take a look. The youth photo in this video, I am not sure if it is her. So this is not of my choice, but it's in the video. So take a look.
I met him before I was Attorney General. I think I actually met him in college, but I didn't.
Donald Trump.
At all.
She met Donald Trump.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, would you look at that?
I met him before.
It's been said that Pam Bondi has known Donald Trump since she was much younger. She said, Pam Bondi, this is what it said. Pam Bondi reveals she met Trump while attending college. So I'm going to play the video again.
I met him before I was Attorney General. I think I actually met him in college, but I didn't know him well then at all.
Oh, figure. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, would you look at that?
Well. It's starting to connect. She used to be a lobbyist for Qatar, Pam Bondi. She made a lot of money lobbying for Couture. Now she is the American DOJ. She leads the Department of Justice. It's all coming together, y'all. Donald Trump hands ain't clean. Poor Charlie Kirk, he ain't know what hit him. But that ketchup ran out quick. That was not by accident. The judge in South Carolina home, boom, was not by accident. No, it was not by accident. Not at all. Not at all. Don't let them fool you, baby. They try to make us think we don't know anything, but we do. So we're going to let the young lady that did not get sworn in because they're trying to cover and protect pedos. They're trying to cover and protect who? Donald Trump.
Hi, this is a message for Speaker Mike Johnson. If you're Speaker Mike Johnson, pay attention. If you're not, feel free to scroll ahead or stay. It's up to you. I'm Adelita Grijalva. I have been waiting for 21 days to get sworn in. I'm going to be in D.C. tomorrow. I would like a date. We've called, sent a letter. Let us know when I'm going to get sworn in. Speaker Johnson, you need to do your job so I can do mine. Let's get this done. Hi, this is a message for Speaker Mike Johnson. If you're Speaker Mike Johnson, pay attention. If you're not, feel free to scroll ahead or stay. It's up to you. I'm Adelita Grijalva. I have been waiting for 21 days to get sworn in. I'm going to be in D.C. tomorrow. I would like a date. We've called, sent a letter. Let us know when I'm going to get sworn in. Speaker Johnson, you need to do your job so I can do mine.
Lolita Harvard, she won the election. She should have been sworn in. He showed favoritism for the ones that were Republicans and sworn them in. Didn't waste any time. But when it comes to Lolita Harvard, she's not sworn in. Why? Because she will be number 218 to get the Epstein files released. And Mike Johnson and Donald Trump, they don't want that to happen because there's so many Republicans on the Epstein's list. So many. Yes, it is. Let's see what our President Barack Obama has to say.
California, the whole nation is counting on you. Democracy is on the ballot November 4th. Republicans want to steal enough seats in Congress to rig the next election and wield unchecked power for 2 more years. With Prop 50, you can stop Republicans in their tracks. Prop 50 puts our elections back on a level playing field, preserves independent redistricting over the long term, and lets the people decide. Return your ballot today. Vote yes on 50.
Vote yes.
California, the whole nation.
Vote to get our country back. Because this country is not ran by Americans anymore. Vote to get our country back. Donald Trump has pimped it out so much, nothing feels familiar anymore. This country feels like strange land. One moment, please. Why am I showing you this? I'm going to tell you why I'm showing you this. The way Donald Trump shakes someone's hand is very creepy. Somebody put another word, but again, everything that I show you is fair use, great for educational purpose, great for research purposes, and great entertainment. And I throw a little comedy in, and you know I do. We got to make it interesting. I got to make you laugh. So let's keep a little comedy in there too as well. But yes, Donald Trump shaking people's hands is so creepy. Pay attention. Pay attention to the president of Italy, how she feels disturbed. So you can see it in her face. She's disturbed by Donald Trump's handshake. She was glad to get away from that heathen. Nobody likes to shake hands with Donald Trump. Nobody. And as I stated, Trump is playing Monopoly with this country, y'all. And this is breaking. Insider confirms Trump urges Israel to not accept Biden's peace deal, allegedly. But it was said, and I believe it.
News and Insider has confirmed that Benjamin Netanyahu intentionally sabotaged Joe Biden's peace plan in 2024 to help Donald Trump's presidential campaign. Joe Biden offered the exact same deal to Benjamin Netanyahu a year ago, and he declined it. But let's take a look at what somebody who was actually in the room has to say about Netanyahu sabotaging this deal. He said that Israel had no intention of striking any agreement before a change of administration in Washington. On December 26, 2024, he was told to not use his back channels because in 3 weeks there will be a deal. In an essay he wrote revealing his involvement, he said this deal could have been done a long time ago. Hamas agreed to all the same terms in September of 2024. This became known as a 3 weeks deal. But at that point, the response of the Israeli negotiators was that Benjamin Netanyahu did not agree to end the war. Remember, in 2024, it was reported that Trump was on the phone with Netanyahu urging him not to cut a deal right now because it would have helped the Harris campaign. This has to be, without a doubt, one of the most disgraceful revelations in all of modern political history. Donald Trump wants to be known as the president of peace. However, he was deliberately sabotaging peace deals so he could take credit for all of it. Thousands of Palestinians and Israelis passed away in the months that followed directly because of Trump's actions. Breaking News and Insider has confirmed that Benjamin Netanyahu...
I think Trump would do anything to own such things as Trump Gaza. They gave him, what, a golf course? They have now given him that jet, which is going to cost the American people billions of dollars to fix it up, to get it ready. I don't think he's going to last that long. And it said that it has been donated to the Trump library or whatever. But the thing is, it still belongs to Trump. It was illegally given to him. He should have never accepted it. But a man like Donald Trump is a man of greed. And greed would never make it into heaven. As he stated already, he knows he's not going to heaven. Donald Trump knows he's never getting in heaven. One moment, let me find that video about him not getting into heaven. He knows it. He spoke on it. He knows his filthy soul would never touch heaven. God doesn't hear a reprobated mind's prayers. Let's see what this is. No, that's not it. Hold on, Jeffro. Where is that video? Because he said from his own mouth, he knows he's not going to heaven. At least Donnie knows God doesn't see it for him. He knows he's never getting into heaven. Take a listen.
I'm being a little cute. I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven, okay? I really don't. I think I'm not maybe heaven bound. I may be in heaven right now as we fly an Air Force One. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make heaven. But I've made life a lot better for a lot of people. And,
for the rich people.
As an example, had the election of 2020 not been rigged, you would have...
There he go with that lie again with his stanky self.
Ukraine alone. That would have never happened. And it didn't happen for 4 years.
He's so nasty.
Very well. It was the apple of his eye. All the things I've said would have never happened. We had an incompetent administration. We had an incompetent president. And because of...
The point I'm making, the old fool knows he's never going to heaven. His family, they can lie for their father. They know better. I don't even believe his family gonna make it to heaven because they backing his lies. The liars support the biggest liar and the 34 count felon. He's not going to heaven and he knows it. He's going to HELL where he belongs. One moment, please.
USA will continue to fund Israel during the government shutdown while at the same time delaying payments for military and federal workers. You heard that right. Officials just confirmed that funding for Israel will not be affected by the government shutdown. This is because aid to Israel
the American people are made to suffer.
That it is exempt from being withheld during the government shutdown. Let me remind you that it is estimated that almost 2 million federal employees will not be paid during this government shutdown. This includes jobs like TSA workers, scientists and engineers, doctors, nurses, park rangers, social security workers. All of these people will be going without pay during the government shutdown while Israel will continue to get aid. Need I remind you that this is the second week of the government shutdown? What's going on? I thought this administration was America first. Make America great again. I feel like at this point it's more like Israel first. Instead of the United States of America, it should be called the Divided States of Israel. But there you have it, guys. Yes, the USA will continue to fund Israel during the government shutdown. Let me know what you guys think. The USA will
continue to fund Israel while the shutdown is happening. But our military men and their families are in the food bank lines. You can't make this up, y'all. It is so sad that Donald Trump is mistreating our military and their families. They're lacking while Israel continued to receive funding during the shutdown. Yeah. One moment. Trump doesn't care about you, America. I don't know how many more times we got to discuss them. He does not care about America. This is who Donald Trump is.
The festering carcass of American rot, shoved into an ill-fitting suit, the sleaze of a con man, the cowardice of a draft dodger, the gluttony of a parasite, the racism of a Klansman, the sexism of a back alley creep, the ignorance of a barstool drunk, and the greed of a hedge fund ghoul all spray-painted orange and paraded like a prize hog at a county fair. Not a president, not even a man, just the diseased distillation of everything this country swears it isn't, but has always been. Arrogance dressed up as exceptionalism, stupidity passed off as common sense, cruelty sold as toughness, greed exalted as ambition, and corruption worshipped like gospel. It is America's shadow made flesh, a rotting pumpkin idol, proving that when a nation kneels before money, power, and spite, it doesn't just lose its soul, it shits out this bloated obscenity and calls it a leader.
That's who Donald Trump is.
What everybody needs to realize is that the federal government is now being run by Stephen Miller and Russ Vought. Donald Trump will get involved occasionally, it seems like, but by all accounts, Stephen Miller is running the Department of Justice, and Pam Bondi is a figurehead that is acting at his direction and occasionally goes on Fox News. And so all of the immigration policy, all of the militarization, not only of ICE, but of our National Guard and our cities, is being driven by Stephen Miller, who is out of control. I don't know where all of his anger and vitriol and hatred comes from, but it's really deep-seated. And the reason why that's a problem is that he is effectively running our immigration and administration, executive agencies. And if he has a deep-seated hatred for immigrants, which he has demonstrated over the years, then he's not interested in operating under the rule of law, following due process.
Who are the real immigrants? Africans been on this earth since day one. White people, your race is 6,000 years old. The indigenous people were here before you, even some blacks, because we was here before the indigenous people. Africans been here before anybody. Anybody. What the Bible say, hair of wool, copper skin, that's not a white man. No, sir.
Political op-ed argues that Pam Bondi has emerged as perhaps the most openly political and partisan attorney general in modern American history. Do you agree with that?
Yes. I think she, her performance today clearly dislodges John Mitchell as the, most regrettable attorney general in history, and he was convicted and went to jail.
Will she face any consequences for today or her conduct thus far?
So I hope that there's an accountability panel or tribunal at some point to deal with the many unqualified people who abandoned their oaths to preserve and protect the Constitution at some point. But I'm much more interested in it just being over and restoring the country.
A political op-ed argues that Pam Bondi has emerged as perhaps the most openly...
When Donald Trump goes down, she's going down. But Donnie is the type of person, he's going to let you be the fall guy. Look at what's the mayor from New York? Ruby, what's his name? Giuliana Rubio, whatever his name is. He has no career. He lost everything behind Donald Trump. Two black beautiful queens have taken everything from him, all the way down to the antique beautiful Mercedes. And I love that car. One moment, please. Just a moment.
The United States of America. He doesn't believe in that. He believes in the red states. He's going after. He's a war. He's a wartime president. He's the head of a war party. War on women. War on voting rights. War on Hispanics. A war on this state. War on institutions. War on history. I mean, this is serious. This guy's trying to get a Nobel Peace Prize. That's what he's going to try to say tomorrow in Alaska, that he's the big guy trying to find peace, really? When he's bringing war to the American people? He put military in the streets, not of Baghdad, and he didn't send the military in his first administration anywhere in the world. He sent the United States Marines into the United States of America.
Fair
in one
use.
of the bluest cities in this country, in Los Angeles, one of the great cities, American cities. That's what Donald Trump did. He is a wartime president. It is about the United States of America. He doesn't believe in that. He believes in the red states.
That is true. He even said himself, if he could only find the red states, he would. The red states are the poorest states at that. The hillbilly MAGA people.
And as a Republican, I'm very disappointed in my party. And I'm very disappointed in you because you do have the power to call the House back. You did that. Or you refused to do that just for a show. I'm begging you to pass this legislation. My kids could die. We don't have the credit because of the medical bills that I have to pay regularly. You could stop this.
But Israel don't have this problem. We're paying for their health care.
And I think that it is awful, and the audacity of someone who makes six figures a year to do this to military families isn't. And as a Republican, I'm very disappointed in my party, and I'm very disappointed in you because you do have the power to call the House back. You did that, or you refused to do that just for a show. I'm begging you to pass this legislation. My kids could die. We don't have the
MAGA Republicans don't care about your children, Queen. The MAGA Republicans only care about themselves and making sure they protect Donald Trump because the Epstein files, baby, they gonna get released. No matter how much Magic Mike grind to try to stop it, he's sitting there looking like a buffoon because he knows he's wrong what he's doing, but he gotta protect Donald Trump.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein in your remarks about in the Q&A.
Well, I think he's got a problem. I mean,
I'm problem will be.
I don't know, but that island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew.
His best friend, Jeffrey.
It's just a hoax. The whole Epstein thing is a Democrat hoax. So this is a Democrat hoax that never ends. These files were made
It would never end, Donnie. Release the Epstein files.
Bill Clinton. Nice guy.
Release the Epstein files, Donnie, because you in them. When we see redactions, we know it's about you. Donnie boy, you can't fool us Americans. You can't. A lot of MAGA is starting to wake up, Donnie. They want the Epstein files too. Charlie Kurtz was speaking on the Epstein files. Now he's bye-bye. Everybody talking about the Epstein files, Donnie. They're not going away, baby. Nobody gonna stop talking about them. Whew.
We have some pretty major news that no one is talking about. The Wall Street Journal is now reporting that Ghislaine Maxwell is receiving special and favorable treatment in her Texas prison facility to the point where the entire prison facility was on lockdown at a point after she came into the facility. And yet she was able to meet with unknown individuals in the prison chapel, multiple individuals. And we don't know who those individuals are. Remember, Ghislaine Maxwell is serving a 20-year federal prison sentence for sex trafficking minors. And she was moved to this special minimum security prison facility not meant for sex traffickers. And she was only moved there after she met with Todd Blanche, Donald Trump's deputy attorney general. And we're now learning that other prisoners believe that she is receiving favorable treatment in the facility, which we could have deduced, but this secret meeting while the rest of the prison was on lockdown in the prison chapel, well, that should raise more questions than answers. Spread the word so more people know. Follow along for
Yeah. Ghislaine Maxwell is receiving special guests to come there. They locked down the prison, and the other prisoners can't. They guests that come to visit them, they can't see them because Ghislaine got special guests going there. Someone that was given 20 years for RAPE, trafficking, is now receiving special guests at a low-risk security prison, where she was in a high security prison, but Donald Trump had his attorney Blanche to go visit her and have her move to Texas. But Donald want to pretend he knows nothing about it. I don't know anything about that. Yes, you do. Oh, yes, you do. You got to keep her happy, boy, because you don't want her to talk. You don't want her to run her D-suckers. Yeah, because you're so scared she going to tell everything she know about Epstein. We're going to find out, Donnie. You can run, but you can't hide. You can't handle the truth, but it's coming. And why you not getting to heaven, baby? Donnie, you can stop worrying about that. You can stop worrying about heaven because you won't see it. God don't hear your prayers, baby. One moment, please.
So why would Kirk be targeted? Well, Turning Point's organization Kirk leads wasn't just another conservative nonprofit. It was one of Israel's most powerful assets in America. It shaped millions of young conservatives into loyal Christian Zionists. Without it, Israel's U.S. lifeline would completely collapse. Now, according to the Gray Zone, pro-Israel billionaires tried to buy off Turning Points with a $150 million infusion, but Kirk pushed back. His support for Israel began to waver over this summer, echoing the shift we've been seeing across the entire MAGA base. We learned from Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson that Charlie was undergoing a spiritual awakening. He began to question Israel's policies, calling Netanyahu a bully and warning of ethnic cleansing in Gaza. He said he feared for his life. He invited guests critical of Israel onto his show and even warned Trump not to bomb Iran on Israel's behalf. At Turning Points USA's 2025 Student Action Summit, just a couple of months ago, Kirk gave the stage to speakers who openly discussed Jeffrey Epstein's ties to Israel and Israel's role in the Gaza genocide. Kirk crossed a red line. So why would Kirk be targeted? Well, Turning Points USA, the organization Kirk leads, wasn't just another conservative nonprofit. It was one of Israel's most powerful assets in America.
As I told y'all, Charlie Kirk was an influencer for Israel. But once he started awakening, they didn't like it. No. And Charlie Kirk is not here anymore. But MAGA don't want to accept the truth. They want to believe that the lie that it was a far left when we all know it was a far right MAGA that took Charlie Kirk up out of here. The Democrats had nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. You need to question the MAGA Republican Party in the Oval Office.
Kirk was getting $2 million a year from the Shillman Foundation. The Shillman Foundation is the main source of Islamophobia in the United States of America. It's a big rich Jew, the Shillman Foundation.
Shillman Foundation, wow.
Yeah, and so what happens? 48 hours before Charlie Kirk is killed, Shillman announces he's kicking Charlie out. No more money. That was a nail in his coffin. That was one nail among many in his coffin. So what are we talking about? A guy who just stumbles into something, going around the campuses, talking to people, gets a big following, and suddenly the money starts to pour in. And Charlie starts to realize money means control. Shillman Foundation, so you got to bash Muslims.
You know what I say? Follow the money. Always follow the money. Jeffrey Epstein was said to have affiliation with Israel. It has been said lately that he's been seen in Israel. Check out TikTok on that. Now Netanyahu owns TikTok. I don't even know if that video over there anymore. Donald Trump is helped running TikTok too. So a lot of stuff is going to be removed from TikTok. If I was y'all, I wouldn't F with TikTok anymore. It's not safe. It's not safe. Donald Trump was just in Israel. Him and Netanyahu have the same pattern of thoughts. They think just alike. Criminal minds get along very well. Donald Trump has 34 felonies. Follow the money, and you get all your answers. Thank you for coming to my live. I am Queen Lillie, and I will see y'all tomorrow. May God continue to bless you, and may you and your family prosper. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless. Goodbye.